Hi guys, my name is Sanjay Sharma. I'm working on a project related to Amazon Web Services. I have migrated all my resources and services of a website from its local server to Amazon Web Services. Today I'll go to explain you how I did auto scaling of EC2 instances using elastic load balancing. Auto scaling is a web service where we can launch or terminate our EC2 instances based on user defined policies. Here is my architecture I'm working on. This is an elastic load balancer, and here we are going to place our EC2 instances in auto scaling group. Let's start our demonstration. This is our AWS management console where we can manage all our cloud services which are provided by Amazon. We have different database center locations across the world. We need to set the database center which is near to your place to avoid any latency and make sure all services are stored in the particular location. Now to configure auto scaling, go to EC2 service. This is our EC2 dashboard. We can see there are a lot of options. Instances, for example, it's our virtual machine we can create. AMIs are the images of the virtual machines. Load balancers is the place where we can create or delete our load balancers. Now for auto scaling, go to launch configurations. Here we can see we have two options. Create launch configuration. We have to create a launch configuration, then add it to our auto scaling group. First we'll create a launch configuration. Here we can see there are many operating systems for creating a new virtual machine, but I'm going to use my images which I created before for this project. Because I'm working on the elastic load balancer, I'll select this project. These are the instances type. We have a lot of varieties of instances, but I'll go with T2 micro because it's enough for my project. Now we need to name our launch configuration. We have to assign an IAM role because auto scaling is everything related to users. For assigning, go to IAM manager, and here we can see roles. We can create a new role, and in policies we can create a policy. These are my customized managed policy, and I have added these policies to this role. So let's get back. We have monitoring options for these instances. We can enable it if you want. Next, for adding storage, we have to go to here, and if you want to add any new storage, click on add new volume. And for this case I don't require any new extra volume, so I'll go with default. In security groups, we will choose from the existing security groups because this is the group which is related to my instances, which will allow HTTP port from anywhere and RDP port only from my IP address. If you want, you can create your own security group, and we can add name, we can add the rule as per our requirements, which rule should be enabled, and that's it. So let's go with my existing group. Now we need to have a key pairs to access the instances, which we can create it or choose it from existing. And now we have successfully created our launch configuration. Now we need to create an auto scaling group for this launch configuration, so name this, and group size will define you how many instances are allowed. In my case I have only two instances. The virtual network is the default one because all the instances in there, and these are the availability subnet zones which I have selected. And in advanced details we can see load balancing options, and we have two types of load balancer. Target groups are related to application load balancer. I have done classic load balancer, so I'll add it. Now health check will be ELB because we are dealing with elastic load balancer. If we deal with EC2, then go to EC2. In auto scaling group we can scale our instances size. In this case I will leave it to the initial size, which will be 2. We can add our notifications like email services. If our any of the instances got terminated unwantedly, we can add it by clicking add notification. Now we need to configure tags because tags are the important things if we are configuring lot of instances or resources in Amazon. This will help us to locate by using the particular tag name. So I have created web server 1. Now I'll review it, and we have created our auto scaling group successfully. Now as you see, this is the auto scaling group. These are our instances, but we can't see any of the instances created yet. So to check that, we need to go back to our instances. In here we can see there are two pending instances. These are the instances related to our auto scaling group. So we need to make sure refresh it and make sure they turn into running mode. Now after they turn into running mode, make sure they are in two different availability zones. And now go back to our auto scaling group. We can see now the instances 2 are activated, and in instances we can see the two instances are in service, which means now they are ready to function. Now to check this auto scaling group, we need to go to our load balancing because this is all related to our load balancer. Here is my classic load balancer. To use this load balancer, we need to go to its DNS name and copy the DNS name, and then we will paste this in your local browser. And as we can see, it's working because it's connected to its internet interface. Now to access my website, I need to go to my website folder, which is DinoStore. It will take some time to process. This is the DinoStore where you can buy dinosaurs, and this is the IP address, private IP address of our instances. One of our instances, we have 4 instances, so the load balancer will distribute its services to all the instances. So make sure all our instances get their IP addresses in our website. So the IP address is related to this instance, as you can see. Now if you refresh the website, then you can see the change in the server name. So the server IP address changes, and it will be related to other EC2 instance, which is this instance, and similarly for all the instances. This will be for the first instance, main instance. So this is how we will work with load balancer. And if we go back to our auto scaling group, we want to check whether the auto scaling group instances are working. We can do one more task, remove any of the instances from our auto scaling group, and we need to check whether that instance IP address can be displayed or not. It should not be displayed if we turn this off. So we need to go to our auto scaling group back again and see whether this instance is getting terminated or not. So go to our instances and see, yeah, it's now terminating, so everything is working fine. If you go to your website and start refreshing it, you will not be able to see the IP address of that particular instance which you have removed it. This shows a sign that auto scaling group is working perfectly healthy, and this is how we deployed our EC2 instances over here. So this is the end of my auto scaling lab. Thank you and have a nice day.